Hi, my friend. How are you? How you doing today? Today we're going to finish yesterday class, but a little bit more advanced. We're gonna graph the general form of sine and cosine, which is including shiftings up and down, shifting to the left and to the right. We're gonna see how this affect the domain and the range of the graph. Always, as we said before, we need 5 points to be able to graph the sine and cosine. This is our class. This is what I mean by the general form. This is my sine function, and this is my cosine function. What's the difference between this and yesterday video? The C, which is mean, shift the C, shift left or shift right. When the shift left, if the C is positive, that's shift left. When the C is negative, that's shift right. The D, you see the D here? The D adding to this means shift up or shift down. Up when this guy plus, the D plus, down when the D minus. The same thing we did. The amplitude is the absolute value of A. The domain, always negative infinity to positive infinity, never change. The range start from the negative value of A plus D, comma, plus A plus D. Then you have to find the y-intercept. Now something in you, phase shift, how much the shifting will be. The shifting will not be exactly the value C, will be negative, whatever C divided by the B, which is the coefficient of X. The period the same, 2 pi over B. Then you have to find the period over 4. As we did, we're going to start from the first point, which is now my first point is not 0. Not 0. Remember, 0 is big enough. 0 if there is no C or D. I'm sorry, 0 if there is no C only. If C is not here, that means we start from the 0. No C, start from 0. 0. When you have C, you have to start from negative C over B. Good. And how many points we need all the time? 5 key points. Okay. Then the first point, negative C over B. Then the second point, you add to the negative C over B, the period over 4. The same rule we did yesterday. Then the third value, you add to this value, the 4, then the period over 4, and keep going. This is my table. You have to memorize it, please. That will help me a lot. With the time, every time you open it, but with the time, when you practice more and more and more, you'll memorize this table. This is my example. I have this example. I've done most of it to save your time. Look, y equal negative 2 sine 2x minus pi over 2 plus 3. The first step, you have to know what's A, negative 2. What's B is 2. What's C, negative pi over 2. What D is 3. Now, look guys, C is negative. Then they're shifting to the right. Negative. Yes, guys, negative. We'll see from the graph where they're shifting. We'll see if we are right or not. This negative means shift right. Right? Shift to the right. Okay. Good. Now, let us start. Find what we need: the amplitude, the period, the domain, and the range. The amplitude. Always, I told you about the amplitude. You take the absolute value of this guy, the A, which is 2. This is my amplitude. That's the function. Goes up 2 and below 2. Total is 4. Up 2 and down 2. Total of 4. Period 2 pi over b. The same rule. Pi. Which is mean the difference between the starting point, which is x1, to the x5, it has to be pi. I'm going to see that in my solution. The domain, negative infinity to positive infinity. How I get the range? Look, the negative a plus d, right? A is negative 2, plus 3, and 2 plus 3, 5. Then the minimum is 1 and the maximum is 5. Let us see if we get these values. The maximum value of y 5, the minimum value of y is what? Then all what you have to do, you go to this negative 2 plus 3, give you 1. Then the other, because we have negative and negative, positive. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now what's the next step? To find the period. Period over 4. Pi, the period is pi here. You see that? The period is pi. This is my, what I need to divide is pi over 4. Then you have to add pi over 4 all the time. You will see what I think. Some rules you need to apply through your calculation. Some rules you have to apply through calculation. The first, sine negative x equal negative sine x. Sine negative x equal negative sine x. You see the negative here goes out. Example. Sine negative pi over 2. The negative goes out. Negative sine pi over 2. Sine pi over 2 from my table. Look. Back. This pi over 2 here. Sine pi over 2 is what? 1. Good? Then the y, let us see, this, that mean negative 1. Let us apply the, find the y-intercept. Just remember, in the y-intercept, you plug x0. Just, I'm going to write the formula for you. Y equal negative sine 2x minus pi over 2 plus 3. Good? What I did here, I changed x to be what? 0. Negative 2 sine 2 0, right? Look here. 2 times 0 is 0. Negative 2 sine negative pi over 2 plus 3. The negative, this one we just did it here, goes out. The negative. You see this negative guy here, left out. Negative and negative is positive. Plus 3, negative 2 times negative 2 is 2, plus 3 is 5. Then my y-intercept is 0 and 5. We need the 5 points. We need now the 5 points to finish our problem. The phase shift. What's my phase shift? This is my phase shift, negative c over b, right? Negative. The value of c, which is, c is how much? Negative pi over 2, right? And we have negative here from the formula. This negative. You see the guys? Good? And c is negative pi over 2. Negative and negative becomes what? Positive. You don't have to write the positive. Negative pi over 2 over b, which is 2. I put 2 over 1 because I want to show you the rule keep pi over 2, keep, change the division to be what? Multiplication, and flip this one. 2 over 1 becomes 1 over 2. Pi times 1 is pi over 2. 4. Now, this is my table. What my first point? I have to choose the phase shift. What my phase shift? Pi over 4. You see this guy comes here. This guy comes here. Then apply into the formula. This is the formula. This is the function I need to graph. Y equal negative 2 sine 2x. X is pi over 4. You see this value here? Comes here. 2 cancel with 2. Pi over 2 minus pi over 2. Pi over 2 minus pi over 2 0. Sine 0 is 0. Negative 2 times 0. Sine 0 from the table. Huh? One more time. 0 is here. Sine 0 is 0. Sine 0 is 0. Back to the table every time you want. Then you're going to memorize it. And then negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3, 3. Then the first value, pi over 4 and 3. Look here. Pi over 4. This value comes here. And you add y pi over 4. Every time we're going to add this guy. Plus pi over 4. Pi plus pi, 2 pi over 4 pi over 2. Plug pi over 2 here. In the same function. 2 cancelled with 2. Left pi. Pi minus pi over 2 is pi over 2. What's sine pi over 2? What's sine pi over 2? Okay, I back here. Sine pi over 2 is what? 1. Okay, then negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 3 is 1. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. Then pi over 2 and 1. This is black. This, okay, I'm going to tell you why. Now after that, this pi over 2, see this pi over 2 is he comes back here. What we going to add? Pi over 4 every time. With this 4 and this 2. Then multiply by 2, multiply by 2 to have the same denominator. 2 pi plus pi, 3 pi over 4. Plug 3 pi over 4 here. Cancel 2 with 2. It's going to be 3 pi over 2. Good? Then add it. 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 2 is pi. You're lucky. Lucky. Pi. Are you hungry? Pi of pizza. Pi. Sine. Remember, sine pi of pizza. Sine pi. The pi, the sine. The pi is like circle. The circle is 0. Sine pi is 0. Okay. Negative 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3, 3. Good? Then this guy what here? A 3. Then 3 pi over 4 and 3. Then after that we take this guy here. 3 pi over 4 and you add pi over 4. 4 pi over 4, which is only pi. Then you plug pi again the same. 2 times pi minus pi over 2. 2 pi minus pi over 2. 2 pi here. 2 pi over 2 minus 3 pi over 2. Sine 3 pi over 2. Oh my, I forgot. What's 3 pi over 2? Oh, he did give me the table. What's 3 pi? Oh. This 3 pi over 2. Oh, go here. Oh, you stop. Oh, negative 1. Wow, it's negative 1. Yes. Negative 2 times negative 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5. Okay. Now the last one, the pi, you see the pi? Oh, comes here. We add what? Pi over 4 all the time. Pi over 4, pi over 4. Now the same denominator, multiply by 4 by 4 is 5 pi over 4. Bring 5 pi over 4 to where? To here. Cancel 2 with 4 is 2. Left 5 pi over 2. Minus pi is 2 pi. I like 2 pi. Is pi equal 0? Then 2 pi equals 0. Sine 2 pi. You don't believe me? Okay, go to the table. 2 pi. Oh, go here. Oh, you are at 0 for sine 2 pi. Okay. Then we have all these guys. That's the 5 points I need. The minimum is 2. Oh, that's what I said. For y, and the maximum is 5. This remind you of what? Go a little bit. Remind me of what? The range. Minimum and what? Maximum. 1 and 5. This is the y value. Okay, I have all these points, guys, right? Now, what I have to do? I have to graph. 1, 2, 3. Let us go to my graph paper. I have an answer graph paper. Let's see. Oh, I put 1, 3, and 5. The 3 values. 3 horizontal line. And I have all my points. Pi over 4 and 3. And look here. To make it simple and clear, you don't have to be strict to go 1 here and 2 here. I did every 2 is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's big and you can see it better. Please do that. Now, the first value, pi over 4 and 3, it's here. The minimum I left it in green here. You see that? Pi over 2 and 1. 3 pi over 4 and 3. Pi and 5. 5 pi and 4 and 3. Then connect these 2, 3, all these points. Go from here to here to here. You see my range? Start from what? 1. Oh, no. Go. Stop. Go up to where? No. Go back here. Stay here. From 1 to 5. This is my range. From 1 to 5. I'm going to show you something. Let us back to what I have here. If you see the difference between the first value, which is pi over 4, and the last one, subtract them. 5 pi over 4 minus pi over 4 equal 4 pi over 4, which is what, guys? Which is pi. Which is my period. That means I'm right. Now, I'm going to say, have a nice day, a nice evening, wherever it is, wherever you are, morning, anywhere, and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like, tomorrow I will do this problem for you, explain it tomorrow. One more class tomorrow to explain this one for cosine. That's it. I need you today, please review this one, understand it, and wait for me for tomorrow to explain the second one. Thank you and have